Welcome to Octane Mobile Gaming. Welcome once again to the channel. This week's deck is a Dark Commander deck and it's an Arcane Killer. So this week's deck is quite nice. I think it's a good supporting deck. The Master Collection card is really nice and the Ultimate Form I think is good as a supporting Ultimate Form. As a main damage dealer, it can be used as a main damage dealer, but I think we've got a main damage dealer that is a bit more powerful damage dealer than this one is, but this one can actually be a supporting damage dealer as well. It creates 10 Dark Power Gem 8 now and at the start of the next 2 turns, and it increases self damage by 100% for 1 turn. When ambushing, it gains the attack bonus buff for 1 turn and creates an additional 20 Dark Power Gems. So that is quite a large amount of power gems for this card to create. But do bear in mind, when you are going up against guild bosses and solo bosses, you'll only create those 30 dark power gems on the first activation of your battle skill. You'll only get the bonus attack buff as well on the first activation of your battle skill. All subsequent activation of your battle skill will only give you 10 dark power gems over 2 turns. It's got the bonus attack buff, don't need to go through that one. I don't think the bonus attack buff is really that powerful or very useful. So the passive Improve Ambush. So Improve Ambush, for those of you who are new to the game, Improve Ambush is different from your Garden Variety Ambush. Improve Ambush, it resets every time you have a new spawn boss. So if you're in, say, GVG, when you kill the boss that you're facing, when you get a new boss spawns, it will reset ambush. Same thing will happen in the quest map, in the wave fights. Every new wave resets ambush, so it's new improve ambush. I like this ambush. It's really good for wave fight. So this one card is a very good card for the wave fight. You will create quite a number of power gem. It also got Gravity Well, which is the third passive, and after being attacked, it delays all enemies' next attack by 1 turn. So this one will work quite well for the wave fights as well, because it delays all enemies' attack, not just one enemy attack, all enemies. So if you've got 4 enemies on the board, like most of the wave fights, you will delay all enemy turn counter by 1 when you're attacked. However, it's got a 4-turn cooldown, so do bear that in mind. So this week's buff and debuff. So Alacrity is a debuff and Dodge is a buff for the boss. Of the two, I would say Dodge is the one that you may need to focus your attention on to dispel that one, because it can be quite counterproductive. The bosses can dodge all your attacks. Alacrity affects any card that does a turn delay, so it will affect this card if you're hit with Alacrity. Turn delay won't work. So that is your ultimate form. I think it's a nice supporting ultimate form because it creates 30 dark power gems, which is can be really useful in GVG fights. It's got a 2-turn cooldown, making it very useful in GVG battles, in the wave fights as well going forward. When it comes to Dark Commander, this will work really well. You don't really need it at 6 pink star. 1 pink star is enough. If you manage to get this, it's a really nice ultimate form to have to hand. Now, the Master Collection card is the best of the 2 other cards. The Ultra Rare is okay, but it's not as brilliant as the Master Collection card. Now, the Master Collection card is the one that will give you the 10 dark power gems, and when ambushing, it will create an additional 20 dark power gem 8s. It's got a 2-turn cooldown, so this is the one that will give you that large amount of dark power gems. However, the Ultra Rare's got the ability to spawn power gems over, I think it's 2 turns. We're going to take a look at that. This one has got a new improved ambush, and it's also got Gravity Well. This one dispels dodge, making this one really good. Now, this one, Orbis, the Sentinel, is the Ultra Rare, which creates 8 dark power gem 8s now and at the start of the next turn. So for 2 turns, it will give you 8 dark power gems, which is really good for the wave fights as well. It does increase self damage by 100%, and when ambushing, it gains the attack bonus buff. So this one is quite nice for the wave fights as well. It doesn't give you as much power gems as, say, the Master Collection cards. Master Collection card is quite nice because of those 30 dark power gem 8s that is going to create, but this one is quite good as well for the wave fights. This one is going to dispel Alacrity, and as I said, Alacrity is not something that you should really focus a lot on unless you're depending on your turn delay skill. Now, the supporting card for this week creates 12 dark gems. When ambushing, it delays the enemy's turn count by 1. So this one has got a 2-turn cooldown, and the first activation of the battle skill is when you will get that turn delay. Not really brilliant. Okay, if you probably need a turn delay card in a tight situation, but it's not really a brilliant card per se. So the main card for this week main hero creates 5 dark power gem 5s now and at the start of the next turn. When ambushing, it gains the bonus attack buff for 1 turn. It's got a 2-turn cooldown. Isn't brilliant, but it's okay because it does create 5 dark power gems over 2 turns. So that is okay, especially for people who are just starting out in the game. So that is your deck. Let's take a look at the Ultimate Relic. So the Ultimate Relic is okay. I always like the Ultimate Relic for the simple reason that the Ultimate Relic actually breaks the shields. And this one, if you've got 1 pink star, will break 2 arcane shield plus 1 additional dark arc Dark Commander per Dark Commander ultimate form on your team. So it's quite nice having these to hand as well, and it does scale up your HP by 5.31%, giving you extra HP. So I like to have the ultimate relics to hand. Does help you out as well. So let's take a look at some cards. Let's start out with some ultimate forms that has got the killer skill. So the oldest of all is this one, the Ancient Ones. It's not really a brilliant ultimate form. It creates 1 dot power gem 2 when struck by an enemy for up to 4 attacks, total over 4 turns. This can only trigger once per turn. If attack 4 times, creates 2 additional dot power gem. These battle skill, the old battle skills aren't really that good. You have some brilliant battle skill on some of the older cards, but they're not really that useful. So this one creates up to 18 dot power gem 6s over 3 turns and create 6 immediately, 6 on turn 2 if you have 200 arcane killer intensity, and 6 on turn 3 if you have 400 intensity. So this one is not really that brilliant. It's intensity dependent, and it doesn't create a lot of power gems or higher level power gems, but it will give you the killer skill. Does dispel fear, which is not very useful. The most useful of all these 3 ultimate forms is Seaborn Scalawag, a really decent ultimate form to have, because this one creates 8 dot power gem 6s and upgrade all dot power gem by 1 rank. It increases Dark Commander's damage by 80% for 3 turns. So this one is quite nice. Got a 3 turn cooldown, and it's got 2 passive on board. The first of which on attack creates up to 6 dot power gems, 6 dot power gem 6s, and 1 for each attacking Dark Commander, and it increases the max HP of all Dark Commander by 25%. This one dispels 4. Okay, so let's look at I've created this one primarily for the wave fights. So this one is for the Crusade maps. Obviously I'm using Lost Covenant. I'm using Seaborn Scalawag to give me the killer skill. I've got a Metaverse Master on board. I've got a Long Night Harbingers, and this one here's Extraordinary. I'm going to swap this one out for another card that will do my deck more justice. Okay, so for the solo bosses and the guild bosses, this is the one that I'm thinking of using. It's a non-event combination because I didn't manage to get anything from this week's deck. I'm actually trying to save up coins because I'm thinking of getting an additional ping star on my water slayer deck. So Seaborn Scalawag is going to give us the killer skill. It's going to upgrade all dark power gems by 1 rank. Then you got Lords of Zex Expelbar, and then you've got Metaverse Master giving us that 150% attack in damage increase. Lost Covenant, that's going to increase it. It will increase its self damage by 300%. Convert all dark power gems, all non-dark power gems to dark power gems, and upgrade all dark power gems by 2 rank. Then creates 14 dark power gems and increases increasing self attack by 300% for 1 turn. Then you've got the Shaken Colossi that will upgrade all dark power gems by. It upgrades the 7 highest ranking dark power gems on the board. So those are the cards that I'm planning to use for the solo bosses and the guild bosses. So those are my 2 combinations that I'm planning to use. Let's have a look at some Dark Commander cards. So Dark Commander cards. We've already seen Lost Covenant. You've got the Glorious Golem. You could go the way of Immortal Killer. You can use Defraggers as your main damage dealer. Defraggers is a card that is unstoppable, so you could say use that one in combination with High Performance Unit Area, which works quite well with none other than Metaverse Masters. You could go another way where you could decide to use you could decide to go chaotic killer. So you could choose a card that is a chaotic killer card. Chaotic Killer is Metaverse Master. So Metaverse Master is a chaotic killer. You could use Metaverse Master as a main damage dealer, combining it with Headstrong Sirens. It will do quite a bit of damage. There's many ways you could go. You could go Arcane Killer. You've got cards that can boost Arcane Killer's damage, so such as Circuit Break Ilaria. Circuit Break Ilaria does increase the damage output of all Arcane Killer cards. So let's take a look at Circuit Break Ilaria. So here's Circuit Break Ilaria. That will give an increase to Arcane Killer's attack by 200% plus an additional 10% for every 20 Arcane Killer's intensity. Then it increases it. It can go up to a maximum of 565, and if you've got 8 or more fire power gem 1s or higher on the board, it will increase it up to 5,650%. So that is another way you could go, or you probably could go the way of, say, Noble Killer and use Santa as the card that's going to boost your Noble Killer's attack. But I think the best way to go would be Immortal Killer, or you could just stick with Lost Covenant. So Lost Covenant. Beast Killer hasn't got really any cards that increase Beast Killer's attack to quite significant level, but Lost Covenant makes up for the lack of Beast Killer boosting card. So this is a really nice combination. What the current Ultimate form would bring to this combination would be the ability to Earthshaking Colossi doesn't create a lot of power gems or higher level power gems, and it only upgrades 7 highest ranking power gems by 1 rank anyway. So if you say replace this one with the current Ultimate form with the same combination that you have, I would say you could activate Metaverse Master's battle skill first, then instead of using any other cards, you swap your power gems, go into the next turn. Then the first card you would activate after that would be Lost Covenant. Then you would activate, say, Metaverse Masters again, and say Earthshaking Colossi is standing in for the current Ultimate form. Then you activate the current Ultimate form. That would give a boost to not only Lost Covenant's battle skill, but it gives a boost, damage boost to also the current Ultimate form. So the current Ultimate form would give itself 100% plus 150% coming from Metaverse Master. So Lost Covenant would have 450, the current Ultimate form would have 250, and then you just activate everything else to upgrade your power gems. And don't forget that Seaborn's Caliwag does give an increase to all Dark Commanders by 80%, so that will help a bit. And you've got this one that gives you 60% damage increase as well. So every little helps, plus the upgrade in the power gems will give you a really decent bang for your buck. So current Ultimate form is quite nice. It's a quite useful card to have in your deck. I'm not gonna knock it because it doesn't increase the damage of all cards by 300 or 500%, but it's a really nice card to have. So that is it for this week. Let's have a look at the news link. So this is the news link, and challenge returns. So this is just some form of challenge where you can earn gems. Spend a lot of money for that, so I'm not really interested in that. So Pride of Earth is next week's event, and returning VIPs can get a free deck. Not holding my breath for that one. So that's all I've got for you today, but do join me tomorrow for a possible deck combination. If I do manage to get something from the 500 gem vault, which I'll go into, if I do manage to get a ultra rare, I might go up to tier 6 and get the guaranteed master collection card. However, if I don't manage to get anything from the 500 gem vault, I'll just showcase what I've got, and you can see what a non-event deck is able to do. So do join me tomorrow for possible deck combination. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day and bye for now.